Most of us were attracted to the tour because it was sponsored in part by the New York Times, which gives it high credibility, and it was in June, which was convenient. The cost for the trip was expensive. At this time, they decided to go with less than 10, and 8 of us converged on Moscow on June 3rd. This is a sign for the opening reception and dinner. The 2 tour directors were Mariana and Serge Schulman. Serge was a former New York Times Moscow bureau chief during the demise of the Soviet Union in 1991. It's ironic, but we never had a picture of all 8 of us standing together, like in front of a hotel, so I'll use this picture from us in a museum looking at a painting. The fellow in red is Ray. He's a Jesuit priest. He's semi-retired and he works for America Magazine in New York. Next is me, the photographer, and you can see me here holding my blue phone because during the trip my camcorder is stolen by pickpockets, and that's how we recorded the rest of the trip. Sitting on the bench is Mike, and he actually has a wonderful story to tell about how he met a Russian family, so be sure to look at that particular segment. Next then are the 3 ladies, plus Marianne the guide. In front is Patty Volk. She's a well-known writer in New York. She writes mostly memoirs and funny stories about her family and so forth. And standing behind Patty is Laurel Baker. She runs the Chamber of Commerce's down in West Palm Beach, Florida, and she was called Laura the Elder. And standing behind those 2 is Molly Haskell, who's a well-known film scholar and writer and theorist. Taking the picture is Larry Litke, seen here with his daughter Laurel, who practices international law, where else but in Washington, D.C. Larry is a dear friend of more than 50 years, and he's a retired media scholar from Northwestern University. And last, we picked up a guide in St. Petersburg to deal with some of the more esoteric things. This is the White Knight barge trip that we took. And the lady's name is Julia, but to be honest, I don't know her last name. And of course, here is the leitmotif of any tour in any foreign country, the guide holding up their folder or their flag saying, "Assemble here."